On our calculator project, we now want to include a testing procedure, and we want to automate such testing procedure in such a way that every time we're going to add a new model, we can just run all the tests and see if the if the new code is correct. To do that, we're going to use JUnit, and to use JUnit we need to add it as dependency, and we can use Maven for including such dependency. So we can open our POM file, and then on the XML we can write here in the set of dependencies we can include a new dependency which should refer to JUnit, and JUnit is actually both the group name and the artifact ID. And right now for our tests we're going to use JUnit 4.12. So we can specify the version 4.12. Okay, when I'm going to save this POM file, you will see that here on the left hand side a new menu will appear with the list of dependencies that are coming with JUnit. So let's save. And now you see that this Maven dependencies entry now is available, and if you expand you will see that these two are the dependencies that are indeed implied by the JUnit code, JUnit dependency that we just specified. So now in this folder I will let you create some tests that should reach 100% of coverage at least for the operations. I decomposed the testing procedure into one class, one test class for each operation. Additionally, I created another class which is actually a test suite, which is in charge of calling all the test classes one after the other. So if we right click on the full suite class and we select run as JUnit, we get that all 13 tests have been executed, and for each of them you see that they succeeded. Additionally, we can right click on the full suite class and select coverage as JUnit test, and now we see that here in the calculator.operations package 100% of the code is actually covered. So for each class in operations we have full coverage. Okay, let's now see how we can automate this testing procedure using Maven. So to do that we can right click on the project and select run as Maven build. And here as a goal we have to specify that we want to first clean the project and then to test it. The test will automatically trigger the compilation, so we don't have to specify this explicitly in here. And let's call this launch configuration test. We can apply and run. Okay, so what you see here is that the plugin first cleaned the project, then resources were generated. In this case no resource was actually needed, and then the plugin compiled the code. After that the test plugin was executed, and we have that all test files were actually tested with 13 tests in total, 0 failures, 0 errors, and 0 tests skipped. As you see, we did not specify the single class names, and that because Maven automatically considers as test all classes that are including the test term under the folder src/test. So within this hierarchy of folder, all classes named test. So these classes are considered as test and so are executed. So now try to obtain 100% coverage on the operations package and automate that using using a Maven goal. As you can see, I shared my project on a Git repository, on a repository called Calculator. And indeed, if you open GitHub, you see that just 5 minutes ago I committed this Calculator Maven project with all the classes and the POM file in there. Now let's see how Travis can be used to integrate and automate our tests. So if we open the web page travis-ci.org, I'm already logged in, but you can log in with your GitHub account. And now you see that on the left hand side you have the list of repositories that are now under control by this Travis, and there's none of them at the moment. But if you click on the plus button here, then you see all of the GitHub repositories that are available. In my case, I want to enable the Calculator repository. So you click in here and you have the repository now available. You see that it says that there are no builds for this repository because to do that we need to tell Travis what to do with the repository. So we need to specify the procedures that should be done. So to do that, we need to create a file in our GitHub on the root of our repository. So we can do that directly on the web interface of GitHub, and to do that we need to be sure to be on the root of the repository, and then we can create a new file, and this file should be called .travis.yml. So this file will be automatically recognized by the Travis system, and we will put in there the instructions for Travis on how to execute, how to test the project. So first of all, we need to specify which programming language we used for our project. So we need to write language. In our case, it's Java. And then we need to specify a script that Travis should follow every time that a new change is committed to the repository. So this script consists of two steps. The first step is to move into the project folder, and we can do that with cd calculator maven. So this the initial dash is used to specify the list of scripts, and then it is followed by a proper bash command, so a command for the terminal. and in this case we need to use the cd command followed by the name of the folder where our project is stored. And then the second command we want to run is actually Maven. So we want to clean the project and test it. So that's it. So we can now commit this new file here. Now in our repository you see that on the root of the repository there is this .travis.yml, and if we now go back to the calculator on the Travis CI web page, GitHub should automatically notify to Travis that there is a new commit, and therefore that a new test has to be done. So if we select more option and we go to requests, you see that now a first request has been created for the first build. So by clicking here you see that this build is actually enqueued, number 1, and Travis is setting up the system to test our code. Okay, so Travis is now, this build is now complete, and you see that all tests in our test folder have been performed, and it succeeded in all of them, so the build is marked as successful. If now I want to change the behavior of some components, for example of subtraction, and I want this component, and I introduce some error in my code, I should be able to detect this error immediately by running the test with Maven. So now I should be able to detect that out of the 13 tests, 1 failed, and this test is indeed checking the calculation, the calc method for test subtraction. The point is that if for some reason I forget to do this test and I commit this code anyway, we should Travis should notify us about this inconsistency. So I already updated the repository because from the web interface we introduced the travis.yml file, so I already updated, and now I'm ready to commit this new version of subtraction with the error. So if we commit and push this change, now it is pushing. So if we now open Travis, if we go to more option and see the requests, you see that we have this new build created with the new version of subtraction, and if you click on the build, you see that this is still enqueued, so we need to wait until Travis set up everything for compiling this new version of the code. Okay, so now this new version is being compiled and tested. So what Travis does is basically to check out the new version of the code from GitHub and automatically verifies it. Travis now completed all the tests. It detected this failure, and email has been sent to the responsible persons, and they are immediately notified that one test on the project, on the committed version of the project is failing.